How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, the founder of the Hard Gainer Academy. And what I want to talk about today are training splits. And in particular, we're going to be talking about the body part split. This training split has been around for a long time. So an example of this is if you're going to do your chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, then you'll do shoulders one day and so forth, arms on another day. So as far as my opinions on it, I actually get a lot of questions. A lot of guys will be like, hey, I like the body part split. Should I continue to do it? But you say that we should be doing full body workouts or doing upper lower splits. Which one is better? Which one's the most efficient? So I'm going to actually kind of blend in my experience and also put a little bit of my expertise in regards to why I prefer the full body splits or the upper lower splits. So from my experience when I was doing body part splits, this actually was in the beginning when I first started training, I ran into a lot of frustration. One of the things was because, yeah, you're only training one particular body part once a week, but what happens when you gotta miss a few days? So in this case, I was going to school. Again, it got busy, the studies got crazy, I was working at the same time, didn't really have the time to go to the gym. So if I was not able to get to the gym a certain number of times in a week, certain body parts would get left out, or I wouldn't be able to even go as intensely because you know what, it's just that one day I have, and if I'm dealing with a lot of stress or there's a lot of things going on, it wasn't going to be the most efficient workout. Another thing is when I got into the workforce and I started working, again, trying to apply myself. I'm fresh out of school. I'm trying to do great, right? We're trying to raise up that value, be more valuable in our workplace. So you know what? We can end up making more money, right? So there'd be some times where I'd miss out in the gym. Couldn't get my workout in. And again, I'll be missing on a lot of body parts. And for, I'm going to actually say most of the cases, to be completely honest with you guys, one of the days that gets sacrificed would be leg day. You'd be like, yeah, you know, you got to get those chest, those shoulders, those back exercises in. But then it's just like, yeah, I got to do legs. But you know what? I got a lot of things going on. So again, leg day would end up being sacrificed. So I was like, you know what? There has to be a better way to go about getting the body that I want to make sure that I'm looking symmetrical and I'm just looking more aesthetic, right? So that's when I started looking at other types of training splits. So some of the training splits that I came across are the two that really stand out the most to me. Well, you know what? Let's say a few. There was push-pull legs, there was the upper-lower split, and then there was the full body split. So I tried 3 of these splits, and the one that I like the most out of the 3 of them is actually the upper-lower split. So I go to the gym, and I hit the gym 4 days a week, and I get to target the muscle groups 2 times a week. When I was doing full body, I did full body 3 times a week, hit those muscle groups 3 times a week. So one of the things that I love about hitting the muscle groups multiple times throughout the week is stimulation, more opportunities for actually building muscle. So when you're doing the body part split, again, you don't have that advantage because you're only hitting that particular muscle group once a week. And if you are hitting a particular muscle group more than once a week, one of these muscle groups are going to be missing out because there's not enough days in the week to actually cover it. And of course, you need to make sure you have your rest days. So that's why when it comes to those other splits, even push-pull legs, if you can make the time to be inside the gym for 6 days a week, it is a great routine because again, you're hitting those body parts twice a week. And then sometimes people have a push-pull type of a routine. So they mix in lower body with the upper body on the same days. So again, very similar in regards that you're hitting those muscle groups twice a week. And if that's only good if you're doing actually 4 days a week. And this is talking about push-pull with the upper body and lower body workouts blended in. So as we come to this later on in this video, what I want to talk about further, but let me just cover in regards to the body part split, here are things that I do not like. So number one thing, when things are going on, life is starting to take over and you start missing some days, again, you're going to miss out on some muscle groups. Number one. Number two, less opportunities for muscle growth to actually stimulate the muscle. If you guys know or if you've been watching my content, and it's also heavily studied, that it usually takes the muscles at least 24 to 48 hours to fully recover after a workout. So when you think about it, why would you want to wait 7 days to hit that particular muscle again? All right. So does the body part split routine actually work? And yes, it does. I know a lot of guys that do it, but keep in mind, it might take you a little bit longer for you to get to the place where you want to be physique-wise, right? Because you're not giving yourself the multiple opportunities throughout the week to actually hit these muscle groups. So of course you're going to get results. Of course you're going to get stronger. Of course you're going to see changes in your physique. But again, just don't expect that it's going to be as efficient like the other body part splits that I mentioned. All right. So if it's one of those things where you know, hey, you're not really concerned about how you look right now, you know it's a process, you're willing to take as long as it takes to get to where you want to be, and if the body part split works for you, then by all means, do it. For the other group, where they're like, hey, I'm just trying to get in shape, I want to start looking good right away, and also I want to make sure that you're actually doing this long term, then you'd be like, all right, let me get looking into a push-pull legs if I could train 6 days a week, or let me look at a full body exercise if I can only train 3 days a week, or maybe let me take a look at the upper lower split if I can only train 4 days a week. So you have so many options and you still hit these particular muscle groups. A great thing about hitting a particular muscle more than once a week as well, you can vary the type of training that you're doing. Maybe you might want to add more workouts, right? You can make it more consistent. It's things that you can continuously do over time. Usually when you're doing body part splits, you literally just have that one day to attack that particular muscle group. So thinking about, let's say for example, you want to do a day where you're doing high reps, and then you want to have a day where you're doing low reps, right? You have the opportunity to do that if you're hitting a particular muscle group more than once a week. So that could be beneficial as well. And also the opportunity, let's say for example, you're keeping the exercises the same. So maybe there's the compound lifts that you want to focus on, which you should be. Then you can have the opportunity to actually do it more than once a week. You want to get stronger at the bench, the more you bench, the better. Your form gets better, your technique gets better, and it's also a lot easier for you to make progress because you're constantly doing it, all right? So as far as which split that you decide to go with, it's really going to entirely come down to you, because I always say, if you're going to follow a program and you're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to follow it, then what's the point of actually doing it? Do something that you're going to enjoy and something that you know you can keep up for the long term, something that is sustainable. So like I said, if there's a certain number of days where you have the opportunity to train, pick a program that aligns with that. Don't pick a program that requires you to be inside a gym 5 to 6 days a week when you can only be in there 3, 4. It just does not make any sense. But besides that, with all of these routines that I mentioned, the body part splits and all the others, you're going to make gains regardless. It just means that whichever one you choose, just be prepared to stick it out to the very end. All right? So I'll be talking to you guys soon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.